on? I'm back, and I'm here to give you an alternative to Parse. So since Parse is closing down, I decided to integrate Firebase with the Ober app. So we're going to be using Firebase, which has a real-time database, which is really cool. So just read up about Firebase and let me know what you think in the comments. And what I'm going to do here is actually show you how to get started with Firebase to start integrating it into the Ober app. So let's go. You're going to have to create an account. I just signed up with Google. It's really fast. It's quick. And so first what we got to do is I'm going to be using Firebase through CocoaPods. So we need to install CocoaPods on our machine. I've already installed it on my machine, but I'll show you what you need to do. I'll just go through the same process. It'll probably just overwrite it. So what you're going to have to do is, I have my terminal right here, but if you don't know where that's at, just come up and type in terminal in the search, and it'll be right here, terminal desktop. So I'm going to open my terminal, and we're going to type in sudo gem install CocoaPods, and then put in your password. I'm typing too fast. I typed it in wrong. And then what this is going to do is it's going to go through and install CocoaPods. We're just waiting for it to install. And then after we install CocoaPods, we're going to move on to adding Firebase to our pod file. It's just a few steps that we need to take. Alright, mine says that I have one gem installed. On yours, it's probably going to take a little bit longer, and you're going to see way more things on the screen. I've already installed CocoaPods, so this was basically like just an update. Alright, so let's head back over to Firebase, and I'm going to log in. And we're going to go to Quick Starts, and then we're going to go to iOS, and then click Quick Start again. And then this is the CocoaPod setup. If you're having trouble, you can go to the Get Started documentation at CocoaPods, and they'll show you exactly how to install it. Same thing we did, sudo gem install CocoaPods. Alright, so let's go back. And what we're going to do next is we're going to get into our project directory. Now, my Ober app is installed on my desktop. That's where my project folder is. So yours, it may be in a different location. It might be in your desktop. In your documents folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go CD. I'm going to go CD desktop. And so right here, you may be changing and going into your documents, so you might have to put documents here. Alright, so now that gets me into my desktop folder, and then I'm going to get into my Ober folder, which is right here on my desktop. So I'm going to go CD Ober. And you may have called your app something else other than Ober, so this is where you put that name. You just have to get into that folder. So now we're in the Ober folder, and now we can come down, and what you have to do after you get into the directory is initiate a pod. So we're going to go pod init, Let me move this down here, move this over here so we can see what we're doing. Alright, so we're going to go pod init. And then after you initialize the pod, we need to open up a pod file. So we're going to go open -a Xcode pod file. This is how we're going to open that pod file. Okay, so now we have the pod file open. These steps right here are left out. You have to look in the pod file and see we need to uncomment this platform right here. So you want to say platform iOS 8.0, and then we want to uncomment this line. It says uncomment this line if you're using Swift. So we're using Swift, so we're going to uncomment this line right here, which is use frameworks. Alright, I'm going to enter down, and then it says that we need to add this right here, pod Firebase 2.0. This is basically saying that we want to use Firebase in our apps. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to come right here under target, and we're going to paste that in, and then we can save this file and close it. Make sure you open in that pod file just how we opened it. You don't want to open that in a text editor because it may mess up the file. Alright, so let's hop back over to our terminal and make sure that you are still in the Ober folder. If you accidentally X this out, then get back into the Ober folder. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You need to go pod install. And this is going to install your pod in your app. Alright, so if you had Ober open, make sure you close out all of those files that you had open based on this. And then open, what you're going to open is your project.x workspace. So we're going to go open ober.xc workspace. And that's going to open up the app. And we can drill down. We see we have pods. We see we have Firebase here. So we're looking good. Looking good there. Let's see. Drilling down. Let's get back into the Ober app and let's test this out. Let's come up to View Controller. This is just for a test, just to see if it's working. We just want to import Firebase and see if everything is good there. Alright, I see that we have an error, so let's see what's going on. No such module Firebase. So we do have an error here, but that's just because we just imported it. If we run the app, everything should build successfully and we should be good to go. And that error should actually go away. I'm just gonna drag over my simulator to this side, opened on my other screen. Just waiting for it to compile. Alright, so we're looking good. We've just added Firebase into our app with CocoaPods, so that's really good. That's a big accomplishment. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to take this off because we don't need this right here at the moment. And I'll see you in the next tutorial when we actually start connecting and sending data to Firebase. Okay.